Good day, learners, and welcome to today's science class. On today's science class, we'll be talking about pests and diseases of crop plants. Pests invade our crops and make them ill. Crops can also become ill like human beings. Now, we want to talk about some pest control services, how to protect our home and businesses and farms from pests. Here, let's talk about some common crop pests. Some common crop pests are insects, mites, snails, slugs, birds and rodents. Here, let's talk about how pests can pose some health risk or some health hazard. Firstly, pests carry diseases that causes bacteria. Secondly, insect bites and stings also cause reaction on our skins. Thirdly, let's talk about rodents. Rodent droppings spread harmful pathogens. You know example of rodents like all these your cockroaches and the rest. Number four, exposure to pest waste can cause illness. If you are exposed to pest waste, it can cause illness. Here I would like to talk about the importance of pest control. Why is it important for us to control pests? There are so many reasons why we need to control pests. First of all, let's talk about how to prevent them. You prevent crops from pests by using what we call pest control that can be sprayed on your plants. Then when your plants get infected, there is what we call treatment. You treat infected crops to prevent loss of food crops, because when you don't treat them, you tend to lose your food crops. And there is what we call monitoring. You monitor your crops to make sure that they are absorbing the treatment. Don't just say because I've spread some insecticide or whatever on it or some pesticides on it, that's the end of it. No, monitor your crops, make sure they are absorbing that treatment. And there's what we call protection. Protect your crop from pests that can damage them and cause diseases. Now I want to talk about types of pest control. That's different types of ways we can control pests and prevent them from spoiling our crop plants. The first method is the cultural method. Cultural method is like the traditional method of protecting our crops from pests. While the second method is the mechanical method, whereby you try and use some mechanical means to protect your crops from pest hazards. The third method is biological. You can use biological pest control to make sure that your crops are protected and that they are well protected and that pests do not harbor on them to destroy them. Now the fourth method, which is the last method, is the chemical method, by spraying pesticides on your crops. In this way, you can ensure pest control so that pests don't destroy all your crop plants. Now, let's talk about some prevention tips, some way we can prevent our crop plants from being destroyed by pests. The first thing is regular monitoring of your crops for pests. You monitor your crops regularly to make sure that pests has not started to infest it. Then utilizing crop rotation method. You can use crop rotation method to break pest cycle. Another method is to encourage beneficial insects. There are some insects that are beneficial to crops. So you let them harbor on the crops so that they can prevent the pest and help your crops. Another way to prevent pests is to consider natural pest control methods, just like some methods we discussed earlier. I'd like to talk about some benefits of professional pest control. There are some benefits when you control pests. The first benefit is increased crop yield. You will have more crop yield when you control pests rather than have a reduced output. Also, reduce reliance on harsh chemicals. Another benefit of professional pest control is that it reduces your dependence or your reliance on some harsh chemicals that can spoil the plants as well. Another benefit of pest control is it provides a healthier crop environment. It lets your crop grow in a very healthy environment. Now, the last benefit here on pest control talks about improved crop quality. When you control pests, you discover that the quality of your crop will be better and you have a reduced level of food wastage. That is, most of the crops you planted or grown would not be a waste. Now, talking about pest control, we'll be happy to help you when it comes to pest control, because when pests are controlled, it leads to a better crop yield on our farms. Thank you all for attending today's science class on pests and how to control diseases of crop plants. I believe you must have learned a lot about the different types of pests that can attack our plants and how to prevent them or how to treat them when the crops are infected. Thank you and see you in the next class.